Hey guys, it's Nick the Booksmith. Welcome back. Welcome back. So sorry it's been forever since I've filmed. We had a week. One of those weeks you don't want to repeat. My husband was in an accident, and so you know how it is if you've ever been in a car accident, then it's like it takes forever to get some semblance of normalcy back. When some guy crashes into your truck and totals it. Yeah. So that's what happened. And so all week we've been, you know, doing all the businessy stuff behind getting your life back in order. So that is my excuse. That's it. That's it. But hopefully soon things will be better. Yeah. Everybody will have a vehicle and be able to go to work without buying a moped. Mopeds are great, just not in Colorado in the winter. You know, if it was June, it'd be okay. I need chapstick, sorry. And this one's almost gone, so it hurts to put it on. Got the little plastic rim around it. Okay, enough. So today I thought we would do a little project. I have a freebie for everybody. While I was gone, you know, adulting and life, we reached 50,000 subscribers. So yay! Thank you all very, very much for playing along. This is your prize. No, it's nice to have a bunch of new people, and so welcome if you are new. If you are not new, I love you. Even if you're not new, I love you, I love you. Thanks for hanging around. So I thought I'd do a little freebie for everybody today. And what that is going to be will be a download. I'm also super thirsty, like all the time now. All of a sudden, maybe it's because it's cold outside and the furnace is on. And anyway, let me explain before I squirrel off into, you know, Wonderland. So this is a piece of a, well, it's a file folder. Like just one of the manila, one of these guys, just boring. And this was just a recycled, upcycled, whatever you want to call it. It was going to get thrown away, so I figured I could use cardstock. So I have several of these, and I thought today we could make a little something to use for either notebook covers, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you want to bind it into a book, like a little folio folder section. I don't know what you want to do. I'm not your mom. So, but what I did was I just chopped it in half on the fold line here in the middle, and we're going to use one of the sides. The reason why this one is out, other than the fact that I wanted a, this is what a file folder looks like, in case you don't know what a file folder is, which, yeah. This is the size that I want as far as, or the shape. So I want the little short thing in the middle and then the little long tab in the back. And if you can see on this one, this back piece is just like a 1/4 inch longer than the front piece. So I didn't want one this big. I mean, you can make a book this big, or you can make a notebook that big, but I don't wanna. So here is just a piece of this cut down to the size that I wanted. And I'm gonna fold it over, but I'm gonna leave about, I'm looking, about this much, I think. About a 1/4 inch, like, you know, like this one is. You can reinforce the fold if you want. So here's this, and it's just a little longer on the back. My hair looks funny. It's because I just threw it up in a scrunchie, and it's bed hair. So please don't judge me today. It's been a long week. So I'm gonna take all of these corners and round them off. Like so, because that just makes it look a little more file foldery, if that's an adjective. And then what I want to do is I want to use this as like a template to draw on, I'm going to mark the middle, and then I'm going to use this for my little cutting lines so that I can make, and I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. But my brain ain't working this week, so we're going to do it this way. Because this is the way that the brain is saying, do it that way, Nick. Don't complicate things. It's going to be complicated anyway. Y'all know me. When can it ever not be complicated? You tell me, man. So this is what it goes on the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the center of I got the center of the one I just cut down, and I'm going to line this up so that I can just barely, oops, just mark that. And I'm going to scoot it over because I don't want it as wide as the one that's on here. I just want to use the curves of the cutout for the shape. So I will cut that out, and then back here I'm going to cut this one out first because I want to see it in relation to the rest of the thing, to the rest of the folder. Okay. And I even like it just like that. I think that looks really cool. You could also just use one of the little tab punches and make a tab to put there. She says confidently. Yeah, that's exactly what I'd do. Except I probably use this one, because this one's awesome. Thank you, Miss Hand. She sent it to me. You got to use all your muscles with this one. And the muscles this week, it's been so stinking cold. I gotta stand up. You'd be He-Man to do that. Okay. What was I saying? It's been so cold this week that I tend to lose a lot of strength because I get cold and I can't get warm, so it just kind of wears me out. So you can put like a tab over here on this side, which looks adorable. Don't get me wrong, looks adorable. Or you could, where is my, I have an extra piece of this cardstock because I want to do something different. Hold on. So here's a little piece. And there's a couple of different things that I thought about doing, but I decided to do it this way because I just wanted the extra embellishment textural factor. So you could, when you fold this over, because like when you see with this one, it's a 1/4 inch from this front edge. Let me make sure my cameras aren't shutting off. And this edge. But do you see how the difference between this and this is 3/4 inch. So when you fold this over, it would have to be 3/4 inch. This front flap would have to be 3/4 inch back. And then it was going to make it too short for my purposes today. Does that make sense? So what I wanted to do was I'm going to sew a piece on the back because, you know, you sew stuff on and it looks cool. I think it looks cool. And then you cut it out. So I'm going to glue this on. If I can find my glue. And I'm going to put this right here. Because I wanted people also that don't have bigger pieces of paper. They just have 8.5 by 11 cardstock, or, you know, that's all they got. I wanted them to be able to make this too without going and finding bigger paper. You can just Frankenstein it together. It's okay. So, like I said, the first thing you could do was punch out a tab or cut one out, because it doesn't have to be punched. You don't have to punch it. Or you can just cut an extra sliver off and you know, that thing I just said. Let me move that out of the way now because it was in the way. And you have to be right about. Sure, Nick. Looks great. I know. Okay. I got it. I think I got it, man. But now I think some of my glue had dried while I was futzing around. Okay. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Don't rush me. So, last night, maybe somebody can explain to me the nuances of buying a car at a dealership. I just don't understand why it has to be so hard. Why is it that when I want to buy a dishwasher, I don't go to Home Depot and haggle for it? Why? Why does it have to be this song and dance mind game? This is stupid. Is it not stupid? Please tell me. Please tell me. Let me see if I can. I just don't understand, I guess, why everything has to be so difficult when it comes to purchasing a car. I'm not a mind game player. Do you know what I mean? And I think one of the reasons why it kind of turns me, you know, sour so much. Oh, I marked the middle because I'm getting off on a tangent. So you may have to, you know, stop and rewind and stuff. And mark this as well. I'll erase it and because it's just pencil. There we go. So it's like this crazy mind game thing. Like, how much can, you know, they get you to pay, and how much can you get them to mark the car down, or whatever it may be. It's like, why does it have to be so shady? Why can't it just be straightforward? I don't know. Please tell me. If you know, enlighten me, please. It's just kind of nauseating. Demeaning, maybe? My BS meter is pretty well tuned, and I do have an aversion toward people that are disingenuous. They trip that meter pretty quickly. I'm not snowed very often or very quickly unless somebody is super high on the Machiavellian scale to not trip my meter. They've got to be pretty, you know, pretty sly and shady and just really good at lying. And as soon as I pick up that somebody's trying to snow me, it's over. I've lost all sense of trust and respect for that person, and I want nothing to do with them. So unfortunately, I do not play well with others when it comes to the whole buying a car mind game trick thing. I'd rather just order it from Amazon. Have free returns. But anyway, it's just my opinion, and my opinion is only mine, only important to me. If you work for a car dealer, I'm not saying you're shady. I'm just saying the ones I've dealt with are. And it just, it's like the ones that are shady give the good ones a bad name, and then you don't trust any of them. How sad is that? It's really sad. So let me tell you just the hypothetical, like, what if this happened to you? What would you do? How would you feel? Let's just play that game. So let's say you see a vehicle online and it happens to be late afternoon, but you know, car dealerships are open till 8, 9 o'clock sometimes. You know, they are. And see, isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? So you go to said car dealership and you say, hey, I saw this car on your website. I'd like to see it. Oh, sure. Except it's not here. Oh, okay, well, where'd you hide it? Oh, well, it's at so-and-so dealership having some recall work done because we just took it in on a trade and it needed some recall, just typical stuff done before we put it up for sale. Okay. So when's it going to be back? Well, it should be back tomorrow. Sweet. I'll be back tomorrow. Go back tomorrow. The gentleman says, well, this car is in high demand. I've had a lot of calls on it. So if you want first dibs, I suggest you put down a security hold deposit. And I said, well, as long as it's refundable, I have no problem with that. No problem. However, I told the gentleman, who was actually very nice, the salesman I talked to was very nice. I said, I'm just going to explain to you that my husband has been through a very traumatic ordeal this week. And if there is anything about this truck that doesn't feel right, smell right, sound right, I am not buying it, and I will have my deposit back. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we wait until the next day, and it finally comes in about, oh, it was probably 5:30. So it took forever to get the car in. See how cute that is? Do you see how cute that is? And this side actually needs to be cut a little shorter as I ramble on like I do. Anyway, so we go to look at it and decide that, yeah, that'll do, pig, that'll do. And so we had the day before, we had, you know, it was marked as a certain price on the website, and thank God I took a screenshot, because that's what I do. And when we got to sit down to talk about it, there was a different price on the paperwork, and I said, so why is that different from the price that's on the website, or was on the website, right? Oh, well, I don't know, I'll go check on that. You do that. So, check on it, he did. And apparently, you know, there was a sensor that needed replaced and blah, 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 whatever. And I said, so you're telling me that you put it up for sale on your website, you listed it, but it was off having a sensor put in it that you didn't know how much it was going to cost. So you priced it at a price and then all of a sudden you jacked it up. It's like, well, I saw the before price. I'm not paying the new price. I saw the before price. And needless to say, I walked out because the manager in charge would not budge, which is fine. That is his or her prerogative, as it may be. But I don't play that game. I am not there to buy something that is more than it was advertised at when I saw it. So, yeah. And I just proceeded to tell them, I said, I'm not saying it is shady. I said, but it sure does look shady when you change the price like that. I said, because it was posted for sale. If you don't know what it's going to be posted for sale at when you get it back from the shop, then don't post it for sale for anything. You leave it off. I said, because I'm sitting here thinking I'm getting played. They were trying really hard. We turn it off. This one's about to trip up here, I think, because I'm talking too much. Okay, so
346 minutes later.
Here we are. Here we are at this point. So do you see I just kind of put this strip back here, and it just elongated it just enough. And then I was able to cut a little thing off of that. It might have been an inch. No, it was an inch wide. So this little dude was an inch wide, and then I was able to trim that off so that we still have the width that I wanted here. Does that make sense? Is that okay? All right. Where is the... Okay, so I have this piece of wax paper because I'm going to put a little bit of ink on it just so I can see, so that you can see the edges better. Let me grab it. Okay. So anyway, that is my story as of right now. And like, why do I have such a problem buying cars? Do I look like a chump? When I walk into a dealership, they're like, oh yeah, you just go take her for everything she's worth. Which isn't much, so if they only knew. So please tell me if that is par for the course. And I know some of you probably have family members that work for car dealerships, and you're like, no, 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 it's not us. And I know it's not all of them, because it's not. It really isn't all of them at all. My best friend's dad works for a car dealership, and he is as honest as the day is long. And I would trust him with my life, let alone buying a vehicle. So I know there's honest people out there. It's just the ones that I've come into contact with lately, not quite so much. Not quite so much. Anyway, I'm tired. Maybe it's because I'm exhausted and Mama don't play that game. Mama don't play that game. Mama's tired. So I'm just going to put a little bit of ink around the edges, just real quickly. Or if it's me, maybe not so quickly. I will try to edit this down. Of course, if I edit the first part down too much, half the story will be gone and it won't make any sense whatsoever. So there is that, which would make it like all of my other videos. What is she talking about? I don't know. I have no clue. So it's okay. It'll be the same. Okay, so let me show you what the freebie is. Yeah, Nick, show us the freebie. Okay. So see, now you can get it in frame. Now you can see the edges a little bit better. So the freebie, as it is going to be this printout at my Flickr page, and I will also put a link down below to the video that shows how to download from Flickr if you've never done that. You don't have to have an account or anything. So so I printed this out actually on I had some newsprint laying there by the printer, so I just put it in there. And it's just cheapo newsprint. That's all it is. And it's an Eco from my Eco Dye papers, the kit, but I added more things onto it. So there's part of a love letter here, and there is a postage, like a canceled postage stamp, and there is like a stamp from the New York Public Library. So there's just some stuff. There's a little date down there, a little date stamp. So just kind of some neat stuff. And there's two things you can do. You can either cut it out and pop it right on here, you know, Bob's your uncle. Or you can cut it apart, and maybe you want this part on the front instead. You just do it. You just, whatever floats your boat, man. Whatever floats your boat. So you can even enlarge it if you want to. The resolution is sizable. So if you want to enlarge it before you print it, go for it. It should be it should be big enough to enlarge fairly decently. Fairly decently. So so that will go here. And then you can print out more than one if you want, or make it bigger or whatever. And just do whatever you want. I'm just gonna say that. Just do whatever you want. I think I will glue it on here and then cut around it, because for some reason in my brain that is making sense today. I'm not making a whole lot of sense, and it's because I'm mentally spent and exhausted. So please bear with me as I fumble through my thought process and try to tame the squirrels and get them all running in the same direction. So I apologize for the scatteredness of my brain today. It hasn't, the whole week I've been like this. I just can't even, man. I just can't even. It's like one thing after another. Literally, it's just one thing after another. It's like, Calgon, take me away already. Done. I'm done with this. Done. Don't want to do this anymore. Okay, so here is, I just glued it on like that. And then that way I can cut around here. Like this. She picks up the biggest set of shears she can grab. Arm's reach. Such work. And then this one can go back here like this. Like this. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing okay. Hope you guys are all right and your week has gone better than mine. And hopefully we'll all be back to some semblance of normal. Oh, I have company here too. So that's another reason why I've been MIA, because when there's people in the house, I can't film, I can't. It's hard to do computer stuff on the computer, let alone anything else. So that's upright. So this needs to be like this. I don't want it to be upside down. Okay, now I'll glue that on. So that actually worked out okay. The size-wise. Sizways. I love these file folders because you can use them to make all kinds of stuff. You can use them to make envelope pockets, you know, like fold over with like the little circle with the twine closure thingy like they have on old folio pockets. Put that on right. Forgive here. Get this on semi straight here. I just love these file folders for all kinds of things. Okay. I like it. So what I'm going to do also is I'm going to sew around the edges. I am. And I will probably ink on this side too. Ink a little bit. And of course you can like make it smaller and indent it a little bit so you can see folder all the way around it. All right, I'm going to sew around the edge of these, and I will be right back. I had to go get a sweater because I'm freezing. All right. So here's the sewing. I just sewed around. I started here, and I went up and around, and then I went this way and up and around, and I ended down here. And as you can see, I did straight stitches, and then I'd stop and do zigzag, and just kind of went back and forth all, didn't try to be careful, just tried to make it kind of messy. Good at that. So here's this one, making sure my cameras are working. So now you can put a nameplate here if you want. If you're going to turn it into like a notebook cover or something like that, you could put a little plate to put a piece of paper behind, so it could be labeled for notes or journal or dailies or whatever it is that you do. And or you could do something like this is one of my little pieces that was from the the Sweater Fuzz. Yeah. Sweater Fuzz. Little definition from a dictionary on just a piece of like tea stain paper. And it could go over here, and here's some little ribbon trim that could go on there. All kinds of things you could do, but it depends on if it's going to go in a book and you want it bulky, or if it's going to be as like just a cover of a notebook. Hashtag again. Because if it's going to go in a book, maybe you don't have the room to make it too bulky. But if it's a notebook cover and it's not going to be in anything, then you might have more leeway with how thick and embellished you make it on the outside. So you can make that distinction. But I just wanted to show you the little freebie to download and print and have fun with it. And you can ink the edges. And it will look different depending on what you print it on. So you print it on colored parchment paper, it'll look one way. If you print it on cream colored cardstock, it's going to look a different way. If you print it on like this junky pad of newsprint, it's going to look a different way. And of course your printer settings can make that all look different as well, because you have photo settings and you have just draft settings, and then you have normal print settings. And so play around with your printer settings and see what kind of a print you want to get out of it. This happens to be the Distress Oxide in Vintage Photo. I like just the regular Distress ink better. I don't have any more at the moment. There's that. But I thought I would make a couple of these to go in one of my next books as part of, maybe it'll be a middle folder, like a pocket, because you could bind it in, you could poke holes in it just like you do your signature pages, and then when it goes in you could glue these two sides together, and then you'd have like a pocket. Or you could just leave it open and put pages on the inside, and it could be a little extra place for writing. Or you could put pockets on the inside, and it could be like a little folio for storage in the middle of a book too. I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't thought that far ahead. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think I might put this over down here just to do it right now. This Digi page is fairly busy and already embellished on its own, so I don't really feel the need at this point, when I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing with it yet, how to put more stuff on it. So I do want this little definition down here, and I love this definition because it's sprig, and it's on a sprig. So that goes there. So I hope you make some of these, whatever it is that you decide to do with yours. Go to Flickr and get your printout and print it out and have fun. Make something cute with it. This one was this one, if you can see, this was printed on parchment paper. So this is just like an ivory colored parchment from Southmore, I think Southmore. I believe it's on my Amazon favorites list, the parchment paper. If you have an Office Depot close to you, they sell it in the store. Office Max might as well. And I think even Staples does. So if you have one of those close, you can just go check it out. If not, you can find it on Amazon as well. Okay. Well, I think that is it for the day. That was a lot. Going to be a lot of video to edit here. I did go to Tuesday morning yesterday. I escaped for a moment, and I did film walking around Tuesday morning for a moment, and I got some toys. One of them was this nice little We Are Memory Keepers, like a nice big bone folder, and it's you know, like a scraper. And I got this thing, and it makes those little, it makes these punches right here. It's like, why do I need, oh, I thought it was cool. I will be back soon. Today is Saturday, I think. I think today is Saturday, November the 2nd. I have gotten, before the accident and before company came, I actually got quite a bit of that class edited. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm winding down to the end of the editing of the class. So that will be out ASAP. I want to have it done because I always have a toward the end of the year sale in November. So I want to have it done for that sale so that it can be on sale with everything else. So I will, so I'll get that done. And there might be a little mini class too, just a little one. So I'm working on that as well. And it's not very long. I just gotta do it, man. Just gotta do it. Sorry I was a whiner. I've been whiny this week. I'm tired and mentally just done. I'm exhausted. So I'm sorry I was whiny. I love you guys though. I do. I really do. And I appreciate you listening to me whine. You rant for a minute, right? And then you just suck it up and you move on. That's what you do. But you gotta vent for a minute. Because if you don't vent for a minute, it's hard to move on. You gotta just let it out, even if you write it down. So if you're having a rough week, and even if you don't say it out loud, go write it down. And then when you're in the shower, you could sit there and you could think about all the things that you wish you would have said to somebody that was being nasty or rude or lying to you and you knew it. And you know, you come up with your best comebacks in the shower, always. That's where they come to you. It's in the shower. Or driving. Sometimes driving, you're like, I should have said that. Thank you all 50,000 plus of you now. You make my heart full. So thank you for hanging around with crazy old little me and letting me steal a little bit of your time here and there. And I hope I give back to you as much as you guys give to me. It was a pleasure rambling and chatting with you and spending a little time with you today. Okay, guys, I will see you really soon in the next video. Bye, guys.